Welcome to Audio Mentors, your space where we share transformative wisdom and practical strategies through our audiobooks and summaries. On this occasion, we bring you an exclusive summary of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, a book that reveals the keys to achieving success, prosperity, and wisdom in all aspects of life. This book offers lessons from history's richest and wisest men, sharing their secrets on how to create lasting wealth, live with purpose, and make intelligent decisions that lead to a fulfilling life. In each chapter, we explore principles such as austerity, prudence, generosity, persistence, and the importance of continuous education in order to achieve our dreams and build a successful life. This summary has been exclusively created by us, with the aim of providing you with the most valuable and practical ideas from this book. If you are interested in learning more about how to achieve personal and financial success, don't forget to subscribe to our Audio Mentors channel, where you will find more audiobooks, summaries, and teachings that will guide you on your path to personal growth and wealth. Let's start this journey towards wisdom and success. Chapter 1. Introduction to the Secrets of Rich and Wise Men. In this first chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, we begin to explore the fundamental principles that have guided the richest and wisest men to success, not only in terms of accumulating wealth, but also in creating full, balanced, and purposeful lives. This book reveals the secrets that these individuals applied in their daily lives and in their decisions, principles that have endured over time and continue to be applicable to those who wish to achieve lasting and meaningful prosperity. An overview of the secrets shared. Since time immemorial, those who have achieved a prosperous and rich life have shared their secrets and teachings, allowing others to follow in their footsteps. This first chapter offers us a general introduction to these teachings, providing us with an overview of the secrets that will form the basis of the whole book. Throughout these pages, we will learn that the path to true wealth is not just a question of money, but of wisdom, self-discipline, conscious decisions, and a clear understanding of what success really means. The fundamental principles explored here are not only focused on how to generate material wealth, but also on how to build a life of purpose, well-being, and personal growth. Throughout history, men who have achieved a high level of wisdom and wealth have left us clues on how to obtain what we desire most, not only in financial terms, but also in terms of achieving a balance between the different areas of our lives. The role of mindset in wealth creation. One of the first lessons Franklin shares is that mindset is a crucial factor in wealth creation. These wise men understood that true power lies in how we think, how we orient ourselves towards challenges, and how we face the difficulties that arise on the road to success. A positive and focused mindset is one of the pillars on which strategies for great achievement are based. It is important to understand that mindset does not just refer to having a positive attitude or optimistic thoughts, but to cultivating a mindset of abundance, where we see the world as full of opportunities and possibilities. The mindset of abundance refers to the ability to see beyond limitations and immediate problems, to have the vision necessary to anticipate the future and make decisions aligned with long-term success. A positive and focused mindset not only involves maintaining a positive attitude, but also acting with determination, not giving in to adversity and moving forward even when circumstances seem difficult. Franklin teaches us that, without this success-oriented mindset, all other strategies and tactics would be compromised, since it is our way of thinking that determines the way we act and the opportunities we are able to seize. A balanced life as the true measure of wealth. Another fundamental aspect that Franklin invites us to consider is that true wealth is not measured only in terms of money, but also in quality of life. Many rich and wise men have achieved material prosperity, but have understood that true success is about achieving a balance between the different areas of life, such as family, health, emotional well-being, and interpersonal relationships. This holistic approach is what allows them to maintain their success in the long term. Franklin places significant emphasis on the fact that financial wealth, if not accompanied by general well-being, is insufficient. The accumulation of material goods is not the ultimate goal. True prosperity is having the freedom to live a life aligned with our values, where every aspect of our existence is in harmony. True wealth is that which allows us to have a positive impact on others and leads us to a place of inner peace, where we can fully enjoy all that we have achieved. A balanced life is the basis of lasting wealth, because only when we have stability in different aspects of our life can we enjoy success without worrying that any imbalance could destroy what we have achieved. Franklin encourages us to reflect on how our daily decisions affect not only our financial stability, but also our general well-being. The power of knowledge and continuous education. Franklin emphasizes that knowledge and continuous education are essential to achieving lasting wealth. The acquisition of skills, constant learning, and the ability to adapt to change are key factors in remaining relevant and prosperous in any era. The wise men who have achieved success were not only educated in their youth, but made learning a continuous practice, adapting to the new knowledge, strategies, and advances that emerged throughout their lives. Education is not limited to academic or technical knowledge, but also includes education in practical wisdom. This involves learning to manage our finances, to relate effectively to others, to make strategic decisions, and to adapt to circumstances. These men understood that personal and professional growth never ends. There is always something new to learn, something to improve on. The power of self-discipline and constant action. Self-discipline is another of the key secrets that Franklin reveals in this chapter. These wise men understood that it is not enough to have good intentions. The real difference lies in the ability to take constant and disciplined action. Self-discipline involves making deliberate decisions and following them without straying from our path, even when distractions or difficulties arise. Self-discipline is also related to the ability to make wise long-term decisions, avoiding immediate gratifications that can divert our progress. Franklin teaches us that true wealth does not come from obtaining quick results, but from maintaining focus and working steadily towards our goals. Self-discipline allows us to control our actions and ensure that every step we take brings us closer to our goals. Final lessons of the chapter. 1. Success-focused mindset. A positive and focused mindset is the basis for achieving any goal. 2. Balanced wealth. Success is not just material. There must be a balance in all areas of life. 3. Continuous education. The pursuit of knowledge and adaptation to new circumstances are essential for lasting success. 4. Self-discipline and action. The ability to maintain focus and take constant action is the key to creating a life of lasting prosperity. This first chapter sets the tone for the rest of the book, where we will explore how to implement these secrets and principles in our daily lives. The secrets of rich and wise men are not only applicable to the creation of material wealth, but to the creation of a life of purpose, balance, and continuous growth. In the next chapter, The Wisdom of Austerity, we will delve deeper into how living frugally and moderately can be one of the keys to achieving lasting success. Chapter 2. The Wisdom of Austerity. In this second chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin explores the fundamental principle of austerity, a quality that, according to him, has been a key pillar for the richest and wisest men throughout history. Austerity is not about living in want or depriving oneself of the pleasures of life, but about applying a philosophy of life that allows us to make wise decisions, control our expenses, and focus our resources on what really matters. Franklin teaches us that austerity is a powerful tool for achieving true prosperity, as it helps us live within our means while building a solid foundation for the future. Austerity as the key to creating lasting wealth. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that frugality is one of the most powerful secrets of the rich and wise. For them, living with moderation and avoiding waste was essential to accumulating wealth. Frugality, in this context, does not mean living extremely frugally or without luxuries, but simply making conscious decisions about how we spend our money, time, and energy. Wealth is not created when we spend impulsively or when we give in to the desire for instant gratification. On the contrary, true prosperity comes from making intelligent and strategic decisions about how we use our resources. Franklin teaches that austerity is the ability to live within our means, to avoid unnecessary purchases, and to focus on what is truly valuable, both materially and emotionally. Moderation in spending as a principle of prosperity. One of the key aspects of austerity is moderation in spending. Franklin explains that wise and wealthy men never spent more than they earned, and maintained a lifestyle that allowed them to save and reinvest their resources rather than squander them. Moderation in spending does not mean giving up comforts, but rather ensuring that our spending is aligned with our values and long-term goals. Franklin teaches us that those who achieve true wealth do not constantly seek to accumulate material goods for the sake of it, but rather make intelligent and careful purchasing decisions. Moderation allows us to avoid falling into the trap of impulse buying, which often leads to dissatisfaction and a life of financial stress. The importance of financial self-control. Austerity is also deeply related to financial self-control. Franklin emphasizes that one of the biggest challenges people face on their path to success is the desire to live beyond their means. Self-control means being able to resist the temptation to spend more than we can afford, to avoid easy credit, and not to fall into the mindset of living for the moment without considering the long-term consequences. Financial self-control is one of the greatest strengths we can develop in our lives. By practicing it, we avoid unnecessary debt, maintain our financial health, and ensure that our wealth grows in a stable and solid way. Franklin encourages us to think about the future and to make short-term sacrifices for a much greater long-term benefit. The power of intelligent frugality. Franklin emphasizes that frugality is not about being stingy or miserable, but about being smart about how we spend our money. Intelligent frugality involves prioritizing our needs and goals over unnecessary indulgences and luxuries. It is about making conscious choices that allow us to enjoy a full life without losing control of our finances. Frugality also extends to the way we use other resources, such as our time and energy. Being frugal with our time means avoiding distractions and focusing our attention on what really matters, while being frugal with our energy means not wasting it on activities that do not help us achieve our goals. Living with purpose and avoiding consumerism. A key theme in this chapter is the relationship between frugality and purpose. Franklin reminds us that those who have achieved lasting wealth did so not only through saving and frugality, but also by living according to a clear purpose. Frugality, then, is a means to an end, to create a life focused on what really matters to us instead of being swept away by the culture of consumerism. Franklin explains that consumerism can distract us from our goals and values, leading us to spend on things that do not contribute to our happiness or our growth. Living with purpose allows us to make wiser decisions about how we use our resources, focusing on what really has a positive impact on our lives. Austerity, in this sense, is a way of aligning our values with our daily actions. Austerity in everyday life. Franklin encourages us to apply austerity in all aspects of our daily lives. This does not mean living in an extreme way, but rather making small, conscious choices that add up over time to build a solid foundation of wealth and well-being. Each expense should be evaluated according to its value and its long-term impact, and each decision should reflect our vision of the future. Applying austerity to everyday life also means recognizing that small actions have a big impact. Every time we choose to save rather than spend impulsively, we are taking steps towards greater financial independence and a more secure future. Franklin reminds us that wealth is not just about money, but also about how we live our lives in a conscious and balanced way. Chapter Conclusion. In The Wisdom of Frugality, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that frugality is not a restriction, but a powerful strategy for the creation of lasting wealth. Moderation in spending, financial self-control, intelligent frugality, and living with purpose are the principles that will allow us to accumulate resources in a stable and secure way. Through austerity, we can free ourselves from the traps of consumerism and build a life of both material and emotional prosperity. This chapter reminds us that austerity is not just an economic practice, but a philosophy of life that helps us stay focused on what really matters, while building a solid foundation for the future. By applying austerity wisely, we can create a richer and fuller life, focused on personal growth and financial stability. In the next chapter, The Value of Time, the most precious resource, we will explore how effectively managing our time is one of the keys to achieving success and prosperity in all aspects of life. Chapter 3. The Value of Time, the most precious resource. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin highlights the value of time as the most important resource on the road to success and lasting wealth. Time, like money, is limited. However, unlike material resources, once time is lost, it cannot be recovered. Therefore, learning to manage and make the most of our time effectively is crucial to achieving our goals and living a full life. Franklin teaches us that the way we use time can be the difference between a life of success and a life wasted. Time is a finite resource. Franklin begins this chapter by highlighting that time is a finite resource, and that every minute that passes will never return. Unlike money, which can be earned, saved, and invested, time is something we cannot get back once it is gone. Wise and wealthy people therefore understand that time is more valuable than gold. This perspective leads us to treat time with respect and to be more aware of how we use it. Effective time management is the foundation on which success is built. Throughout history, wise and wealthy men have understood that time well invested can generate great long-term returns, while time wasted only contributes to frustration and regret. Franklin teaches us that, just as we do not spend money without thinking, we should not waste time without being aware of its value. The importance of discipline in time management. One of the key principles that Franklin highlights in this chapter is discipline in time management. The ability to set priorities, organize our activities, and avoid distractions is essential to maximize productivity and achieve our goals. Franklin emphasizes that those who achieve success do not let time slip away without meaning. Rather, they use every minute consciously and with purpose. Discipline in the use of time does not mean filling every moment with work, but dedicating time to what really matters. This implies having a clear plan for the day and not letting time be wasted on worthless activities. Franklin suggests that time should be considered a precious commodity, and that we should invest it wisely and effectively to ensure that we get closer to our goals every day. Planning and organization as tools for making the most of our time. Franklin teaches us that planning is one of the most powerful tools for making the most of our time. Having a clear plan for our daily and long-term activities allows us to focus on what really matters and avoid procrastination. Organization and planning not only help us to be more productive, but also allow us to have a clearer vision of what we are doing with our time. Effective planning begins with setting clear and achievable goals. Franklin recommends that, at the beginning of each day, we establish our priorities and follow a schedule that allows us to be productive and efficient. Planning is not just a matter of allocating time to specific tasks, but of making sure that we are spending time on what brings us closer to our larger goals. The value of concentration and eliminating distractions. Another key principle of time management is the ability to concentrate on one task at a time and eliminate distractions. Franklin points out that multitasking can be detrimental to productivity, as it prevents us from fully concentrating on a task and carrying it out effectively. True efficiency comes from fully dedicating ourselves to what we are doing at the moment, without being distracted by external noise. Concentration not only improves our productivity, but also allows us to obtain better results in less time. Franklin teaches us that by focusing completely on our tasks and eliminating unnecessary distractions, we are able to make much more efficient use of our time and achieve our goals more quickly. Time dedicated to learning and personal improvement. Franklin also emphasizes that one of the best uses of time is constant learning. Wise and wealthy men not only invest time in generating money, but also in acquiring knowledge and skills that allow them to continuously improve. Continuing education is an investment in oneself that not only improves our ability to generate income, but also prepares us to make wiser and more effective decisions throughout our lives. Personal improvement is one of the most powerful ways to make the most of time. By dedicating time to learning, whether through reading, training, or exchanging ideas with other people, we increase our opportunities for growth and success. Franklin teaches us that knowledge is one of the greatest sources of power, and by investing our time in learning, we equip ourselves with the necessary tools to successfully navigate life and business. The need for time to rest and reflect. Although time management focuses on productivity, Franklin also emphasizes that rest and reflection are essential for a balanced and successful life. Time to relax and reflect allows us to recharge our energies and make clearer and wiser decisions. Life should not only be a constant race towards success, but also a process of self-assessment and self-care. Franklin advises us that, just as we must be disciplined in our activities, we must also be aware of the importance of taking time to rest and reflect. Only when we are well rested and balanced can we make the most of our working hours and make decisions that bring us closer to our goals. Time as an investment for the future. Franklin teaches us that time should be seen not only as a present resource, but as an investment for the future. The decisions we make today regarding the use of our time will directly influence our future life. By investing our time in activities that help us grow, learn, and get closer to our goals, we are building a more prosperous and satisfying future. The time we dedicate to improving our skills, establishing important relationships, or looking after our health not only has immediate benefits, but also provides us with a solid foundation for the future. By viewing time as an investment, we ensure that every moment we put in is aligned with our long-term goals. Conclusion of the chapter. In the Way to Wealth. Time, the most precious resource. Benjamin Franklin teaches us that time is one of our most valuable resources. How we manage it determines our success, our wealth, and our overall well-being. Discipline, planning, focus, and continuous learning are the fundamental principles that allow us to make the most of this finite resource. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we use our time and challenges us to make conscious decisions about how we invest it. By managing our time effectively, we can build a prosperous, balanced, and purposeful life. In the next chapter, The Strength of Persistence, we will explore how perseverance and consistency are essential to overcoming obstacles and achieving long-term success. Chapter 4. The Strength of Persistence. In this chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that one of the most powerful keys to achieving success and wealth is persistence. While ability, intelligence, and opportunity are important, persistence is what distinguishes those who truly achieve their goals. Franklin, through this chapter, shows us how the ability to persevere in the face of difficulties, temporary failures, and obstacles can take us further than any natural talent. Persistence is the force that keeps a person on the path to their goals, even when everything seems to be against them. The power of persistence on the road to success. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that persistence is the driving force that encourages people to continue working towards their goals, even when the immediate results are not evident. The real difference between success and failure does not necessarily lie in ability or luck, but in the determination to keep going despite adversity. Rich and wise men, according to Franklin, are those who do not give up at the first signs of failure, but see each obstacle as an opportunity to learn and improve. Persistence is the ability to stay focused on long-term goals, without being distracted by temporary difficulties. Franklin explains that successful people are those who keep going despite doubts, rejection, and difficulties. By persisting in the pursuit of our goals, we not only move closer to them, but we also develop a resilience that allows us to face more easily the challenges that may arise in the future. Failure as part of the success process. A key lesson that Franklin conveys to us in this chapter is that failure is not the end of the road, but a natural part of the process towards success. Rich and wise men do not fear failure, but embrace it as an opportunity to learn and improve. Franklin reminds us that many of the most successful people in history have failed repeatedly before achieving success. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is the attitude towards failure. Persistence means being able to learn from our failures and move on. Each mistake, each failed attempt, provides us with valuable lessons that bring us closer to our goals. Franklin encourages us to see failures not as defeats, but as necessary steps to achieving success. The key is in the willingness to get up and keep going no matter how many times we fall. Commitment and discipline in persistence. Franklin also emphasizes that persistence is closely related to commitment and discipline. True persistence is not simply pushing forward impulsively or aimlessly, but doing so with a clear commitment to our goals. Commitment involves making conscious decisions and maintaining a constant focus, even when the initial motivation begins to fade. Discipline, meanwhile, helps us to stay on track, even when circumstances become difficult. By maintaining a disciplined routine, we ensure that every action we take brings us closer to our goals, no matter what happens. The combination of persistence, commitment, and discipline is the formula that leads to long-term success. Persistence in the face of adversity and uncertainty. A key aspect of persistence is how we manage adversity and uncertainty. Franklin reminds us that the road to success is never linear, and we will always encounter unforeseen obstacles. However, successful people are those who do not allow external circumstances or uncertainty to prevent them from moving forward. Persistence means remaining calm and determined when the future is uncertain, trusting that constant effort will eventually bear fruit. Adversity can be seen as an opportunity to strengthen our resilience. By facing and overcoming obstacles, we develop a greater capacity to handle future challenges more effectively. Franklin teaches that every time we persist in the face of difficulty, we become stronger and more prepared for the trials that still lie ahead. The example of great persistent men. Franklin illustrates the importance of persistence with examples of great historical figures who have achieved success thanks to their tenacity. From inventors such as Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, to leaders such as Abraham Lincoln, who faced personal and professional defeats before becoming president, all these men share a common characteristic: persistence. These examples show us that success does not come immediately and that great achievements require effort, dedication, and an unwavering will to keep going, even when the odds are against us. Franklin teaches us that, like them, we should see failures as stepping stones to success and not as reasons to give up. The motivation for persistence. One of the factors that Franklin highlights as crucial for persistence is motivation. Without a clear purpose and a deep desire to achieve our goals, persistence becomes difficult. Motivation acts as the fuel that keeps the fire of persistence burning, even when circumstances are difficult. Franklin suggests that the key to persistence is having a clear purpose, one that drives us to keep going even when the road is difficult. Furthermore, motivation does not always come from external sources. Franklin teaches us that we must find an internal source of motivation that drives us forward. This can be a passion for what we do, a desire to help others, or a commitment to our values and principles. It is internal motivation that keeps us committed in the long term. Persistence in daily practice. Finally, Franklin teaches us that persistence is not something that is practiced from time to time, but that it should be an integral part of our daily life. Every day is an opportunity to take another step towards our goals, and persistence requires constant practice. By incorporating persistence into our daily actions, we ensure that we are always moving forward, no matter how small the progress. Franklin encourages us to adopt persistence as a philosophy of life, in which each challenge becomes an opportunity to improve and get closer to our goals. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Strength of Persistence, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that persistence is one of the most important qualities for achieving lasting success. By persevering in the face of failure, maintaining commitment to our goals, and exercising discipline in our daily lives, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve our greatest aspirations. Franklin reminds us that the real difference between those who achieve success and those who give up is not ability, but unwavering persistence. This chapter inspires us to stay focused, learn from our mistakes, and move forward with determination. Persistence is the force that will lead us to success, no matter what challenges arise. In the next chapter, Austerity in Everyday Life, we will explore how moderation in our daily decisions, from spending to time, helps us build a solid financial foundation and a more balanced life. Chapter 5. Austerity in Everyday Life. In this chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin delves into the importance of applying austerity in our daily lives. Austerity, according to Franklin, does not refer to living in a severe manner or depriving ourselves of what is necessary, but rather to being aware of our expenses, our choices, and our daily habits. It is a philosophy of life that allows us to make intelligent decisions that favor long-term financial and personal stability. True wealth is not only created through large investments or high incomes, but also through the ability to manage well what we have on a day-to-day basis. Austerity as a principle for daily life. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that austerity is more than an economic practice. It is a lifestyle that applies to all aspects of our existence. While in the previous chapter we talked about how austerity contributes to the creation of lasting wealth, in this chapter we focus on how austerity can be transformed into a principle that guides our daily decisions. Austerity involves being mindful of every resource we have, whether it be time, money, energy, or even our emotions. By practicing austerity, we ensure that we don't waste what we have and that we use those resources as efficiently as possible. This refers not only to our finances, but also to our ability to make informed and wise decisions about the use of our time and energy. The importance of moderation in consumption. One of the key principles of austerity is moderation in consumption. Franklin emphasizes that living in an excessive or indulgent way is not only unsustainable, but can also be detrimental to our long-term well-being. Living within our means and avoiding unnecessary consumption allows us to save, invest, and build a solid foundation for the future. Moderation involves making conscious decisions about what we really need and what we don't. Franklin teaches us that, instead of giving in to immediate temptations or social influences that encourage us to spend, we should ask ourselves if what we are consuming really adds value to our lives. Living modestly means choosing the essentials, what contributes positively to our well-being and our goals. It is not about depriving oneself, but about avoiding excess and waste that do not contribute to our long-term purpose. Austerity in small daily decisions. Franklin emphasizes that austerity begins with the small decisions we make every day. We don't need to make big sacrifices to achieve a more balanced and richer life. Instead, we can start with adjustments in our daily choices. Every time we choose to buy something unnecessary or spend too much, we are choosing to shift our focus away from what really matters. Austerity in everyday life means reflecting on our purchases and our actions, making sure that we are making decisions that are in line with our financial and personal goals. For example, if we choose to spend money on unnecessary luxuries or on things that do not contribute to personal growth, we are deviating from what Franklin considers a life of true wealth. Instead, we can choose to make conscious decisions that allow us to save and reinvest our resources effectively. Austerity in relationships and time. In addition to finances, Franklin invites us to apply austerity to other aspects of our lives, such as our relationships and the use of time. Austerity in relationships means surrounding ourselves with people who contribute positively to our growth, avoiding those who drain us emotionally or distract us from our purpose. It is a practice of conscious selection, where we choose to be close to those who inspire us, challenge us, and support us on our path to success. As for time, austerity implies carefully managing our hours, avoiding distractions that do not contribute to our objectives, and always seeking a balance between work, rest, and personal relationships. Effective time management is an extension of austerity, as time is one of the most valuable resources we have. By being aware of how we spend our time, we can maximize our opportunities to grow and move towards our goals. Short-term sacrifice for long-term benefits. Franklin also emphasizes that austerity involves short-term sacrifices for greater long-term benefits. This principle applies to both finance and life in general. Often, what we desire most in the short term, such as immediate pleasures or instant gratification, can lead us away from our deepest goals. For example, spending money on unnecessary things may generate momentary satisfaction, but it does not bring us closer to wealth and financial stability. Austerity, then, is a form of conscious sacrifice that allows us to create a solid foundation for the future. This means making sacrifices now, such as living below our means or foregoing some temporary luxuries, with our sights set on a future of stability and sustained growth. Franklin teaches us that the ability to make these sacrifices is one of the characteristics of rich and wise men. Austerity in health and personal well-being. In addition to the management of material resources, Franklin also reminds us that austerity should be applied to our personal health and well-being. Living in a balanced way without excesses in food or rest is essential to keeping us healthy and productive. Austerity in our health means making smart choices about our diet, exercise, and rest to ensure that our bodies are in the best shape to handle work and responsibilities. Franklin teaches us that, by practicing health austerity, we not only avoid illness or physical problems, but also improve our energy and ability to concentrate, allowing us to work more effectively on our goals and projects. Austerity as a philosophy of life. At the end of the chapter, Franklin emphasizes that austerity should not be seen as a burden or a restriction, but as a philosophy of life that allows us to live with greater freedom, clarity, and focus. Austerity does not mean giving up everything we enjoy, but rather having the wisdom to choose what really benefits us in the long term. By practicing austerity, we are taking control of our decisions and creating a life that reflects our deepest priorities and values. Conclusion of the chapter. In Austerity in Everyday Life, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that living austerely does not mean depriving ourselves of what we need or enjoying the comforts of life, but rather making intelligent, thoughtful and strategic decisions that help us achieve our goals. Austerity is a daily practice that applies to our finances, our relationships, our health, and our use of time. By being mindful of how we use our resources, we can build a solid foundation of wealth and well-being that allows us to live a prosperous and balanced life. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can apply austerity in our daily lives and make wiser choices that bring us closer to our long-term goals. In the next chapter, Lessons from the Man Who Was Not Afraid of Work, we will explore how hard and constant work is an essential ingredient for achieving material and personal success. Chapter 6. Lessons from the Man Who Was Not Afraid of Work. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin explores one of the most fundamental secrets to achieving lasting wealth: hard, constant work. Throughout his life, Franklin was a strong advocate of work as one of the keys to success. For him, work was not only a means of earning money, but also a form of personal growth, discipline, and contribution to society. In this chapter, Franklin teaches us that work is a powerful tool for transforming our lives, and that those who achieve long-term success are those who are not afraid of hard work and dedication. Work as a fundamental principle of success. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that hard and constant work is essential to achieve success. The rich and wise men who have achieved a prosperous life have not been those who have avoided effort, but those who have embraced work as an opportunity to grow, learn, and build something meaningful. True wealth is not created by simply waiting for opportunities to come, but by working diligently towards our goals, day after day. Franklin emphasizes that work should not be seen as a burden, but as a blessing. Hard work is the ground where our skills are honed, our resilience is strengthened, and our opportunities increase. For men who have achieved great things, work is a natural part of their life, not something done out of obligation or necessity, but for the satisfaction of seeing their efforts bear fruit over time. Work as a discipline and a tool for personal growth. Work not only has a practical value in terms of generating income, but it is also a tool for discipline and personal growth. Franklin emphasizes that work teaches us to be disciplined, to manage our time, and to maintain focus on what is important. Through work, we learn to be responsible, to overcome obstacles, and to be persistent in our goals. Constant work also has a transformative effect on our character. It forces us to develop skills that we may not have known we had and pushes us to strive for excellence in what we do. Franklin suggests that, beyond the financial reward, work is a way of perfecting ourselves, which in turn contributes to a more satisfying and rich life in all aspects. The relationship between work and prosperity. Franklin reinforces the idea that prosperity is not the result of luck or chance, but of constant dedication to work. While opportunities are important, it is the people willing to work tirelessly to take advantage of those opportunities who truly achieve prosperity. Wise and wealthy men have achieved their success not only through their knowledge or skills, but also thanks to their willingness to work consistently, even when circumstances were difficult. For Franklin, work involves not only physical but also mental effort. The most successful people are those who combine physical effort with strategic reflection and intelligent decision-making. Work thus becomes an integral tool for the creation of wealth, as it not only produces money but also generates personal growth and learning opportunities. The value of teamwork and collaboration. Although individual work is crucial for success, Franklin also teaches us that teamwork and collaboration are equally important. Many of the most successful men in history have achieved their goals not only through individual effort, but also thanks to their ability to collaborate with others. Teamwork allows us to take advantage of the strengths of diverse people, learn from their experiences, and generate greater and more lasting results. Franklin reminds us that, in business and in life, collaborative work is the key to achieving great things. The ability to surround yourself with competent and motivated people and to work together towards a common goal amplifies the chances of success. By sharing responsibilities and contributing different perspectives, teamwork increases our opportunities and strengthens our results. The importance of not fearing hard work. A recurring theme in this chapter is the idea that hard work should not be feared, but embraced. Franklin explains that many people avoid hard work because they are afraid of the effort or the fatigue. However, true prosperity comes to those who are not discouraged by demanding work, but see it as a necessary path to success. The ability to stand firm in the face of difficult work is a sign of strength and determination. Hard work, according to Franklin, also teaches us resilience, as it forces us to constantly face adversity. Each challenge we face in our work is an opportunity to develop our resilience and move forward, regardless of the difficulties. Those who fear work fail to move forward, but those who embrace it are strengthened with every step they take. Work as a means to achieve financial independence. Franklin also emphasizes that through constant work and effort, we can achieve financial independence. Work not only generates income, but when managed wisely, it allows us to create the foundation of wealth that gives us the freedom to live on our own terms. Those who achieve success do not do so easily, but rather through years of diligent work, making smart financial decisions, and persevering in their goals. Financial independence is a natural consequence of hard and consistent work. By focusing on our financial goals, staying focused at work, and making the most of our skills, we can create a future where we are not dependent on others for our economic stability. Franklin reminds us that work is a tool for achieving economic freedom, which in turn gives us the power to make decisions that bring us closer to our long-term goals. Work ethic and service to others. Finally, Franklin reflects on how a work ethic benefits not only the person who works, but also the community. Consistent and well-done work is a service to society, since each of us, by contributing our efforts and skills, helps to improve the common good. By working with integrity and dedication, we not only benefit ourselves, but also add value to others. Franklin teaches us that true success is not only personal, but also has an impact on those around us. Ethical and diligent work creates a cycle of prosperity that not only benefits us, but also improves society in general. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Way to Wealth, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that hard and constant work is the key to achieving success, financial independence, and personal growth. Persistence at work, the willingness to face effort without fear, and a work ethic are the qualities that allow us to move towards our goals. This chapter reminds us that work is not just a way to make money, but an opportunity to improve as individuals, to serve others, and to build a solid foundation of wealth. By embracing work as a tool for success, we can transform our lives and reach the heights we set for ourselves. In the next chapter, Financial Intelligence and Education, we will explore how knowledge and continuing education are fundamental elements for the creation of lasting wealth. Chapter 7. Financial Intelligence and Education. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin delves into one of the fundamental pillars for achieving true wealth: financial intelligence and continuous education. Franklin explains that financial success depends not only on working hard, but also on making informed and strategic decisions about how to manage, invest, and multiply available resources. Financial education is key not only to generating wealth, but also to maintaining it and growing it intelligently. The value of financial education. Franklin begins this chapter by highlighting that one of the main differences between people who achieve prosperity and those who live in economic hardship is financial education. People who have a solid understanding of how money, investments, and personal finances work are able to make wiser decisions that allow them to accumulate wealth over time. Financial education empowers us to take control of our finances, instead of being victims of uncertainty or ignorance. For Franklin, financial education is not just about learning about numbers and accounts, but about understanding the fundamental principles that govern the accumulation and growth of money. By acquiring knowledge about how markets, investments, and savings work, people can make more strategic decisions that increase their chances of long-term success. Franklin emphasizes that without financial education, even those with large incomes can end up losing money due to bad decisions. The importance of being self-taught. A key issue that Franklin addresses is the importance of being self-taught in the financial area. Wise and wealthy men do not wait for others to give them all the knowledge necessary to make good economic decisions. They educate themselves and seek to continually learn about money management. Franklin argues that self-discipline and intellectual curiosity are essential to staying up to date and making well-informed decisions in an ever-changing economic world. For Franklin, continuous education is a lifelong commitment. It is not enough to learn the basics about personal finance or investing. We must always be willing to learn more, whether by reading books, taking courses, seeking expert advice, or observing how others manage their resources. Knowledge is an asset that can multiply, and rich and wise men know that they never stop learning. The power of informed decisions. Franklin emphasizes that one of the main advantages of financial intelligence is the ability to make informed decisions. People who understand how money and markets work are in a much better position to evaluate investment opportunities, manage risk, and protect their resources. Informed decisions are not made lightly or based on emotions, but are based on the analysis of facts, data, and long-term projections. One of the lessons that Franklin highlights is that the ability to make wise financial decisions requires time and reflection. Impulsive investments or quick decisions are often motivated by fear, greed, or the desire for instant gratification, which can result in significant losses. In contrast, those who educate themselves and reflect on their decisions are much more likely to be successful in the long term. Investment as a tool for financial growth. Franklin dedicates a significant part of the chapter to investment as an essential component of financial intelligence. Knowing how and when to invest is a fundamental aspect of generating lasting wealth. Throughout history, people who have accumulated great fortunes have not only worked hard, but have also known how to put their money to work for them. Franklin emphasizes that smart investments are key to financial growth, as they allow us to generate passive income and multiply our resources over time. However, Franklin also warns that not all investments are equal. Financial education helps us to identify low-risk, high-return investments and to avoid those that are too risky or speculative. Financial intelligence also involves knowing when to invest and when not to, based on a careful analysis of the financial situation and market conditions. Risk management and the importance of prudence. A crucial aspect of financial intelligence is the ability to manage risk. Life is full of uncertainties and unpredictable situations, but those with financial education know how to minimize risk and protect their assets. Franklin reminds us that risk cannot be eliminated completely, but it can be managed intelligently. Prudence is a central tenet of risk management. By being prudent, we can make informed decisions that not only protect us from potential losses, but also maximize our chances of success. Financial intelligence is not just about seizing opportunities, but also about avoiding unnecessary risks that can jeopardize our economic stability. The importance of learning from financial mistakes. Franklin also emphasizes that financial education does not only come from studying best practices and principles, but also from learning from our own mistakes. Financial failures should not be seen as definitive failures, but as valuable lessons that teach us to make wiser decisions in the future. Financial intelligence means being able to recognize when we have made a mistake, reflect on it, and use that experience to improve our future decisions. Wise and wealthy men understand that making mistakes is part of the learning and growth process. The key is how we respond to those mistakes. Instead of giving up or letting them define us, we should analyze them objectively and use them to improve our financial skills and strategies. Continuing education as a path to financial freedom. Finally, Franklin teaches us that continuous education is essential to achieving financial freedom. Financial freedom does not only refer to having enough money to cover our needs, but to having full control of our finances and the ability to make decisions without being tied to economic limitations. Financial education provides us with the necessary tools to manage our finances efficiently, allowing us to take control of our life and our prosperity. Franklin emphasizes that continuous education is the key to maintaining our economic independence. As we acquire more knowledge and develop our skills, we become more capable of making intelligent decisions, managing risk effectively, and growing our investments. Financial freedom is the result of a constant commitment to learning and improvement. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Way to Wealth, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that education is the key to achieving lasting wealth. Financial intelligence allows us to make informed decisions, manage risk, invest wisely, and learn from our mistakes. Continuous education not only improves our ability to generate wealth, but also gives us control of our lives and our finances. This chapter invites us to reflect on the importance of learning about our finances, constantly seeking new knowledge and applying what we learn to improve our economic situation. By doing so, we prepare ourselves to live a life of prosperity and financial freedom. In the next chapter, Avoiding Debt, the Key to Financial Freedom, we will explore how to avoid debt and maintain our financial independence through careful management of our finances. Chapter 8. Avoiding Debt, the Key to Financial Freedom. In this chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin addresses a key principle for achieving and maintaining financial freedom: the importance of avoiding debt. Throughout his life, Franklin was a strong advocate of living debt-free, as he understood that indebtedness not only affects our financial stability, but also limits our personal freedom. In this chapter, Franklin teaches us how to avoid falling into the debt trap and how to maintain absolute control over our finances in order to achieve true financial independence. The danger of debt. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that debt is one of the biggest obstacles to achieving financial freedom. As our debts grow, so does our dependence on others, whether lenders or financial institutions. Franklin points out that the more indebted we are, the more difficult it is to move towards prosperity, as we are tied to the obligation of paying interest and repaying our debts instead of using our resources to generate growth. The greatest danger of debt is that it takes away our control. When we have debts, our financial decisions are limited by the obligations we have acquired. True financial freedom, according to Franklin, is not achieved until we are able to live without debt, which gives us the autonomy to make economic decisions that favor our independence and long-term prosperity. The destructive cycle of debt. One of the aspects that Franklin highlights in this chapter is the destructive cycle that debts create. People living in debt often resort to more credit to cover payments, which only increases their level of indebtedness. Franklin teaches us that this cycle can be very difficult to break, since the more we resort to credit, the more difficult it becomes to pay our debts and free up our resources. This cycle keeps us trapped in a situation of stress and financial limitation. Indebtedness creates a feeling of lack of control, as our decisions are not based on what is best for our future, but on what we need to do to meet our immediate obligations. Franklin urges us to avoid this cycle of indebtedness, as it limits our ability to make wise and sustainable economic decisions. The power of living within our means. The first step towards financial freedom, according to Franklin, is to live within our means. This means spending only what we earn and avoiding overspending on non-essential goods or services. Franklin teaches us that by living in an austere and controlled way, we can avoid getting into debt and keep our finances in order. Living within our means also means having a mentality of intelligent frugality. Instead of giving in to social pressures to constantly consume or buy what we don't need, we should prioritize our needs and focus on what really has value. This attitude allows us to avoid the temptation to resort to credit and maintain a solid financial foundation that will enable us to achieve our long-term goals. The importance of saving and avoiding credit. Franklin emphasizes that one of the best ways to avoid debt is to save consistently. Saving is a way of building an emergency fund and having a financial cushion that allows us to face the unexpected without having to resort to loans. Throughout his life, Franklin was a strong advocate of saving, as he understood that having a reserve of money allows us to live with greater freedom and financial security. Credit, on the other hand, can be a useful tool if used wisely, but Franklin warns that its abuse can quickly lead to debt. Overuse of credit cards, personal loans or home loans can create an unsustainable financial burden. The key is to use credit only when absolutely necessary and always with a clear plan to pay off debts quickly. Discipline in managing finances. One of the key elements in avoiding debt is financial discipline. Franklin teaches us that, in order to maintain control over our finances, we must be disciplined in our spending, saving, and investment decisions. Discipline allows us not only to live within our means, but also to take advantage of opportunities to grow our money intelligently. Financial discipline also means being aware of our priorities. This involves evaluating each expense and asking ourselves if it is really necessary or if we are buying something on impulse. By taking a disciplined approach to money, we can avoid falling into the debt trap and keep our finances under control. The value of having a financial plan. Franklin emphasizes that one of the most important aspects of avoiding debt is having a clear financial plan. A financial plan allows us to visualize our financial goals, establish a budget, and follow a path towards financial independence. Franklin recommends that everyone should establish a plan to manage their income, expenses, savings, and investments. A financial plan also helps us anticipate potential difficulties and prepare for the unexpected. Having a detailed budget and an emergency fund can protect us from the temptation to resort to credit in times of need. A good financial plan is the basis for a balanced and debt-free financial life. The satisfaction of financial freedom. One of the greatest rewards of living debt-free is the feeling of financial freedom. Franklin teaches us that, by freeing ourselves from debt, we can make decisions without being tied down by financial obligations. This freedom gives us the ability to direct our resources towards what really matters, such as investing in our future, continuing education, and supporting our families or communities. Financial freedom also allows us to live without the stress and anxiety that often accompany debt. By not having to worry about loan payments or debts, we can focus on our long-term goals and enjoy a more balanced and fulfilling life. Chapter Conclusion. In avoiding debt, the key to financial freedom, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that living debt-free is essential to achieving true financial freedom. Debt binds us, limits us, and prevents us from making wise decisions about how to manage our money. By living within our means, saving consistently, and maintaining a disciplined approach, we can avoid getting into debt and build a solid foundation of wealth. This chapter reminds us that the key to a balanced and successful financial life is to stay in control of our finances, make informed decisions, and never fall into the trap of easy credit. By doing so, we can enjoy financial freedom and move towards our goals with confidence. In the next chapter, The Power of Generosity, we will explore how sharing our wealth, not only material but also emotional, can enrich our lives and the lives of others. Chapter 9. The Power of Generosity. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin reveals a fundamental principle that wise and wealthy men have applied throughout history: the power of generosity. Although wealth creation and financial success are important goals, Franklin teaches us that true prosperity is not just about what we possess, but about how we share what we have with others. Generosity is a key characteristic of successful people, as it not only contributes to the well-being of others, but also enriches our own lives in profound ways. Generosity as a fundamental principle of lasting wealth. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that generosity is one of the most important qualities shared by wise and wealthy men. For them, wealth is meaningless if it is not shared with others. Generosity, according to Franklin, is not only a moral action, but a strategy that strengthens both those who receive and those who give. By practicing generosity, we can create a positive cycle of prosperity and well-being that benefits the community at large, and also strengthens our own wealth, be it material, emotional, or spiritual. Franklin emphasizes that being generous does not simply mean giving money, but also offering time, resources, emotional support, and knowledge. Generosity extends beyond the material and becomes a way of life that benefits everyone involved. Franklin teaches that generosity, when practiced wisely, is a powerful way to create a lasting legacy. Generosity as a form of investment. One of the key concepts that Franklin introduces in this chapter is that generosity is a form of investment that has a return far beyond the economic. By sharing what we have, be it time, money, or knowledge, we not only help others, but we also sow the seeds to receive more in the future. Franklin teaches us that by being generous, we invest in the well-being of the community, which in turn creates a support network that directly benefits us. Generosity creates a network of positive relationships and trust, which opens the door to new opportunities, ideas, and collaboration. Those who give selflessly not only enrich the lives of others, but are also enriched through the gratitude and respect they generate. By investing in others, Franklin explains, we create a circle of prosperity that multiplies over time. The balance between giving and receiving. Although generosity is essential for the creation of a prosperous and balanced life, Franklin also emphasizes that there must be a balance between giving and receiving. Generosity does not mean sacrificing ourselves at the expense of our own stability or well-being, but rather sharing what we have in excess or what we can offer without putting ourselves at risk. It is important to recognize that, In giving, we must also ensure that we are taking care of our own needs and objectives. The balance between giving and receiving is also related to the wisdom of how and to whom we give. Franklin teaches us that generosity must be directed in a way that has a real impact on the lives of those who receive it. Giving without criteria can result in a waste of resources, while giving intentionally and wisely creates a lasting and meaningful impact. Generosity and personal growth. In addition to its economic and social benefits, generosity has a profound impact on our personal growth. By giving to others, we not only improve their lives, but also cultivate qualities such as empathy, gratitude, and selflessness. Generosity helps us to step out of our own bubble of self-interest and connects us to the experiences and needs of others. Franklin reminds us that generosity fosters a sense of abundance in our lives. By giving generously, we realize that what we have is not limited and that the act of sharing only increases what we receive, both in terms of material wealth and emotional well-being. This mindset of abundance allows us to live with a greater sense of satisfaction and inner peace, as we understand that by contributing to the well-being of others, we are also contributing to our own prosperity. Generosity as part of the legacy. A central theme that Franklin addresses is the idea that generosity contributes to creating a legacy that endures long after we are gone. Those who practice generosity leave a positive mark on the world, not only on their families or friends, but also on their communities and, potentially, on future generations. Generosity becomes a way of enriching the lives of others, creating a legacy of well-being and prosperity that continues to multiply. Franklin invites us to think about the impact we want to leave behind. How do we want to be remembered? By practicing generosity, we not only build a life rich in experiences and relationships, but also create a legacy of wisdom, kindness, and prosperity that can inspire others to follow our example. The importance of generosity in difficult times. Franklin also emphasizes that generosity should not be limited to times of abundance, but is even more important in times of difficulty. During crises or moments of uncertainty, generosity has an even greater power to heal, help, and unite people. Helping others in difficult times not only benefits those who receive, but also strengthens our own emotional resilience and our connection with others. Generosity in times of difficulty also reflects a strong and noble character. Franklin teaches us that it is in these moments when generosity can truly transform lives and create a positive impact, even when resources are limited. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Power of Generosity, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that generosity is one of the most powerful keys to achieving lasting success and true prosperity. By sharing what we have, be it time, money, or knowledge, we not only enrich the lives of others, but also cultivate a richer and more meaningful life for ourselves. Generosity creates a circle of prosperity that amplifies over time and has a positive impact on both those who give and those who receive. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can incorporate more generosity into our lives, not just as a one-off action, but as a philosophy of life that brings us closer to our goals and allows us to live a full and balanced life. In the next chapter, Prudence in Decision-Making, we will explore how making wise and prudent economic decisions is essential to maintaining long-term success and building lasting wealth. Chapter 10. Prudence in Decision-Making. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin introduces us to the concept of prudence as one of the fundamental virtues that wise and wealthy men have practiced throughout history to achieve lasting success. Prudence, according to Franklin, not only refers to the ability to make wise economic decisions, but also to the ability to assess circumstances, reflect before acting, and anticipate the consequences of our choices. This chapter teaches us how prudence, when applied effectively, can be a powerful tool for ensuring long-term success and financial stability. Prudence as the basis of all wise decisions. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that prudence is the key to making decisions that lead to success. While impulsivity and hasty decision-making can have negative consequences, prudence allows us to take the time necessary to analyze our options, consider the possible ramifications of our decisions, and act with care and deliberation. Prudence, according to Franklin, is essential for anyone seeking to build lasting wealth, as impulsive decisions rarely lead to favorable results. Prudence is the ability to see beyond immediate rewards and think about the long-term consequences of our actions. This ability helps us avoid costly mistakes, make informed decisions, and protect our financial and personal well-being. Franklin teaches us that one of the most common characteristics of successful men is their ability to act prudently, weighing up all the options and always choosing the one that best aligns with their long-term goals. Reflection before acting. A central principle of prudence is the importance of reflecting before acting. Franklin reminds us that, in life and in business, we are often faced with situations that require a quick decision. However, hasty decisions rarely lead to good results. Prudence advises us to take a moment to reflect, to evaluate the possible consequences, and to make sure that we are making the best possible decision at that moment. Reflection allows us to avoid impulsive reactions and make decisions based on logic, analysis, and facts. Franklin teaches that those who are successful in life and business are those who do not act on impulse, but take the time to think carefully about their decisions. In doing so, they are able to avoid costly mistakes and choose the path that will enable them to achieve their goals more efficiently. The art of anticipating consequences. Franklin also emphasizes that prudence involves the ability to anticipate the consequences of our decisions. Prudent decision-making is not only based on what seems right at the moment, but also on what might happen in the future as a result of those decisions. Prudence allows us to consider not only the immediate rewards, but also the potential risks, challenges, and long-term outcomes of our actions. By anticipating the consequences, we can avoid making decisions that could be detrimental to our future. This long-term approach is one of the characteristics that distinguishes wise and successful people. Instead of making decisions that offer instant gratification, Franklin teaches us that true prudence is what guides us towards decisions that benefit us in the long term. The importance of patience in decision-making. An essential component of prudence is patience. Franklin points out that patience gives us the ability to wait for the right moment to make decisions, without rushing to act before we are fully prepared. Patience is especially important when it comes to financial decisions, as money should not be spent or invested without careful analysis. By being patient, we can avoid falling into the trap of making decisions based on urgency or fear. Prudence requires waiting for the right moment, doing the necessary research, and making well-founded decisions. Franklin teaches us that patience, combined with reflection and anticipation of consequences, is the recipe for successful and wise decision-making. Prudence in investing and money management. A central theme in this chapter is the application of prudence in investing and money management. Franklin emphasizes that one of the areas where prudence has the most significant impact is in financial decision-making. Wise people do not invest impulsively or take unnecessary risks with their money. Instead, they make sure they fully understand the options available to them before making an investment, and only invest when they are sure that the rewards justify the risks. Financial prudence also involves avoiding debt and living within our means. Those who practice financial prudence do not make decisions based on social pressure or the temptation of quick profits, but rather make decisions that align with their long-term financial stability and security. The balance between boldness and prudence. Franklin also mentions that prudence does not mean being overly cautious or avoiding risk altogether. True prudence lies in finding a balance between boldness and caution. While boldness is necessary to seize opportunities and make courageous decisions, prudence ensures that those decisions are based on careful analysis and a realistic assessment of the risks and benefits. Franklin teaches that we should not be afraid to take risks, but we should always assess whether the risk is worth taking. Prudence helps us to make bold decisions in an informed way, allowing us to act with confidence without jeopardizing our stability. Prudence in relationships and communication. Prudence is not limited to financial or professional decisions, but also plays a fundamental role in our daily relationships and communications. Franklin reminds us that prudence involves being cautious in how we express ourselves, how we choose our words, and how we handle our interactions with others. Being prudent in relationships helps us build trust, avoid misunderstandings, and make decisions that strengthen our personal and professional connections. Prudence in communication also involves listening before speaking, reflecting on what we say, and being aware of how our words can affect others. Franklin emphasizes that prudence in personal relationships is key to creating lasting and respectful relationships. Conclusion of the chapter. In Prudence in Decision-Making, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that prudence is an essential virtue for achieving success and financial stability. The ability to reflect before acting, to anticipate consequences, to be patient and to balance boldness with caution are fundamental principles for making wise and effective decisions. This chapter invites us to apply prudence in all areas of our lives, from our finances to our personal relationships. By being prudent, we can avoid costly mistakes, build a solid foundation of wealth and well-being, and move towards our goals with confidence. In the next chapter, The Art of Saving. How to multiply your resources, we will explore how constant and strategic saving can help us grow our wealth effectively and sustainably. Chapter 11. The Art of Saving. How to multiply your resources. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin reveals a fundamental principle for the creation of lasting wealth: the art of saving. Although many people think that wealth can only be built through high incomes or risky investments, Franklin teaches us that constant and disciplined saving is the key to growing our resources effectively and sustainably. This chapter explores how the ability to save intelligently and strategically is an essential component in achieving financial freedom and building a solid foundation for prosperity. Savings as the basis of lasting wealth. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that saving is not just a question of putting money aside, but of adopting a mindset of financial discipline that allows us to live below our means and set aside a significant part of our income for the future. According to Franklin, the key to wealth creation is not simply earning more, but saving and reinvesting consistently. The accumulation of wealth begins with the ability to resist the temptation to spend more than we earn and, instead, to put the money we save to work. Franklin teaches us that saving is a process that requires self-discipline and patience. By saving regularly, we are not only building a financial cushion that provides us with security, but we are also creating the basis for long-term wealth creation. Smart saving allows us to take advantage of opportunities when they arise and gives us the freedom to make decisions without the constant worry of financial constraints. The importance of saving with a purpose. A key aspect of saving is that it should be done with a purpose. Franklin emphasizes that it is not simply a question of accumulating money, but of doing so with a clear plan for its use. Saving without a purpose can lead us to lose sight of our financial and personal objectives. The money we save should have a goal, whether it is to purchase an asset, create an emergency fund, or invest in an opportunity that will increase our capital. Saving with a purpose means knowing exactly why we are saving and how that money will contribute to our larger goals. Franklin suggests that by saving with a clear purpose, we not only increase our wealth, but also maintain the focus and motivation to move forward with our long-term goals. The discipline of daily saving. One of the fundamental principles that Franklin highlights is the importance of being disciplined in saving every day. Saving should not be something sporadic or random, but a constant and systematic practice. Franklin suggests that, even if we do not have a large income, we should make an effort to save a small amount of money every day, as these small contributions accumulate over time and become a solid foundation for wealth creation. Daily saving forces us to make conscious decisions and to prioritize our long-term needs over immediate desires. This discipline also applies to our spending decisions. Every time we choose to save instead of spending impulsively, we are taking another step towards financial security and success. Savings as a way to avoid debt. Franklin also explains that saving is a key tool for avoiding debt. Those who do not save find themselves trapped by the need to resort to loans or credit to cover unexpected expenses, which can quickly lead to a spiral of debt. By having a savings fund, we can face unforeseen events without the need to get into debt, which gives us the freedom to make wise and controlled financial decisions. Saving protects us from the trap of easy credit and high-interest debts. Instead of relying on loans to finance our needs, we can use the money we have saved to deal with emergencies or take advantage of investment opportunities without having to resort to credit. Franklin teaches us that saving provides us with financial independence, allowing us to live with greater freedom and security. The power of compound interest in saving. A fundamental concept that Franklin introduces is compound interest, which he describes as one of the most powerful drivers for multiplying our savings over time. Compound interest is the process by which the interest generated by our savings is added to the original capital, causing our savings to grow exponentially over time. Franklin explains that by saving and investing intelligently, we can harness the power of compound interest to grow our wealth without having to constantly add more money. The longer we let our money work for us, the greater the growth. Franklin therefore recommends that we start saving and investing as early as possible to take full advantage of the benefits of compound interest. The importance of investment as part of saving. Although saving is essential, Franklin also teaches us that investing is a crucial step in growing our savings and multiplying our resources. Saving alone is not enough to achieve lasting wealth. The money saved needs to be invested strategically to generate additional income. Franklin suggests that by learning about the investment options available and choosing the most appropriate ones, we can make our savings work for us. Investments, whether in real estate, stocks, bonds, or businesses, are a way to increase our savings and generate a steady flow of passive income. Franklin emphasizes that prudence and research are key when investing, as smart investments can significantly increase our wealth over time. The saving mindset and gratitude. Franklin also emphasizes that a saving mindset is closely linked to gratitude. Those with a scarcity mindset tend to spend impulsively and live beyond their means, while those who practice gratitude and abundance understand that what they have is enough to start saving and building a solid financial foundation. Gratitude allows us to be at peace with what we have and helps us make wiser decisions about how to spend and save our money. The importance of saving in building a legacy. Finally, Franklin reminds us that saving is not only crucial for our own financial stability, but also for creating a legacy. By saving and investing in a disciplined way, we not only build our own wealth, but also create a financial foundation that can benefit future generations. Saving is a way of leaving a legacy of financial security and stability, providing our children and family members with the tools to succeed without the burden of debt. Conclusion of the chapter. In the Art of Saving. How to multiply your resources. Benjamin Franklin teaches us that saving is a fundamental tool for the creation of lasting wealth. The discipline of saving every day, the power of compound interest, smart investing, and a mindset of gratitude are key to growing our resources and achieving financial freedom. Franklin reminds us that by saving and investing strategically, we can build a solid foundation for the future and ensure our long-term economic stability. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can apply the art of saving in our daily lives, ensuring that we are making wise financial decisions focused on our long-term goals. In the next chapter, Knowledge as a Pillar of Prosperity, we will explore how education and the constant acquisition of knowledge are essential to continue growing and achieving lasting success. Chapter 12. Knowledge as a Pillar of Prosperity. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin introduces us to the concept of knowledge as an essential pillar for achieving lasting prosperity. According to Franklin, knowledge is not only the basis for personal growth, but also the most powerful tool for transforming our lives, increasing our wealth, and living in accordance with our deepest values. Throughout this chapter, Franklin teaches us that the constant search for wisdom and education is the key to navigating the world and taking advantage of opportunities effectively. The value of knowledge in the creation of wealth. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that knowledge is one of the most important assets we can accumulate throughout our lives. While money can be earned and lost, knowledge is something that cannot be taken away and which, if used wisely, has the power to transform our circumstances and open doors to new opportunities. For Franklin, true wealth is not measured only by what we possess in material terms, but by what we know and how we use that knowledge to get ahead in life. Knowledge, according to Franklin, is not only useful in financial terms, but also in all aspects of life. A wise man is able to make more informed and strategic decisions, both in business and in his personal life, which allows him to navigate the ups and downs of life with greater ease and success. Continuous learning as a lifelong commitment. A central principle that Franklin emphasizes in this chapter is that continuous learning should be a lifelong commitment. Wise and wealthy men do not see education as something that is limited to their youth or to the early years of their career. Instead, they dedicate themselves to constantly learning and growing, whether through reading, participating in debates, practicing, or learning new skills. Education is not something that is achieved once and then set aside. It is a continuous process that allows people to remain competitive, adaptable, and constantly evolving. Franklin encourages us to be self-taught, to seek out sources of knowledge in all aspects of our lives, and to never stop learning. The key to remaining relevant and successful is to continue feeding our minds with new ideas and knowledge, enabling us to adapt to change and seize new opportunities. Practical knowledge as the key to prosperity. Throughout this chapter, Franklin makes an important distinction between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. While academic and theoretical knowledge is valuable, Franklin emphasizes that what really leads to success is the practical knowledge that we can apply in our daily lives. The ability to take what we learn and turn it into action is what makes knowledge a tool for prosperity. Practical knowledge is the kind of wisdom that allows us to make effective decisions in everyday situations, such as managing our finances, handling our relationships, or running a business. Franklin teaches us that practical knowledge is not only based on what we know, but on how we apply it to improve our lives and achieve our goals. Education as a means to personal and economic freedom. Franklin also emphasizes that education is a means to achieve both personal and economic freedom. Education allows us to make informed decisions that give us control over our lives and our finances. As we acquire more knowledge, we become more capable of handling the challenges that come our way and taking advantage of the opportunities that arise. Education opens doors to new opportunities for employment, business, and personal growth. For Franklin, education is the tool that allows us to escape dependence on others and achieve independence. Those who educate themselves, either formally or through self-learning, can take control of their future and create a life of prosperity, without depending on luck or external factors. The power of reading and self-directed study. One of the most important pieces of advice Franklin offers in this chapter is the importance of reading and being self-taught. Throughout his life, Franklin was an avid reader and an advocate of self-directed learning. Reading, according to Franklin, is one of the most accessible and effective ways to acquire knowledge, and it is a practice that we can all incorporate into our lives. By reading books, articles, studies, and other resources, we not only expand our minds, but we also learn from the experiences of others, which allows us to make more informed decisions and avoid common mistakes. Franklin encourages us to read constantly, taking advantage of every opportunity to learn and improve our understanding of the world around us. The importance of learning from failure. Franklin also mentions that learning comes not only from successes, but also from failures. Failures and mistakes are a natural part of the learning and growth process. Every time we make a mistake, we have the opportunity to reflect on what went wrong and learn from that experience. Franklin reminds us that we should not fear failure, but use it as a tool to gain more wisdom and improve our decisions in the future. The knowledge acquired through experience, both positive and negative, prepares us to better handle the situations we face and helps us make wiser and more calculated decisions in the future. Knowledge as an asset that generates wealth. A recurring theme in this chapter is that knowledge not only helps us make wiser decisions, but is also an asset that can generate wealth. Those with a wealth of knowledge, especially in key areas such as finance, business, and investment, have a significant advantage in creating and growing their wealth. Knowledge allows us to identify opportunities that others may overlook, manage risk more effectively, and make the most of our resources. Franklin teaches us that by investing in our education and acquiring practical knowledge, we are investing in our ability to generate wealth. Shared knowledge as a generator of collective prosperity. In addition to the importance of individual knowledge, Franklin also emphasizes the value of shared knowledge. Those who share what they know and collaborate with others in the creation of wealth contribute to collective growth. Intellectual generosity, like material generosity, benefits everyone involved and creates a network of prosperity that extends beyond the individual. By sharing our knowledge with others, we help to create an environment where everyone can prosper. Franklin reminds us that by teaching others what we know, we are not only enriching their lives, but also strengthening our own position. Conclusion of the chapter. In Knowledge as the Pillar of Prosperity, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that knowledge is one of the most powerful assets we can accumulate. Continuous education, self-directed learning, and the practical application of knowledge are key to achieving lasting success and wealth. Franklin emphasizes that knowledge not only helps us make more informed decisions, but also gives us the tools we need to grow our wealth and personal freedom. This chapter invites us to reflect on the importance of investing in our education and taking steps to acquire new knowledge, whether through reading, reflection, or experience. In doing so, we not only improve our ability to generate wealth, but also prepare ourselves for a fuller and more successful life. In the next chapter, The Work-Life Balance, we will explore how to find a healthy balance between our work responsibilities and our personal well-being, a key factor in achieving success without sacrificing our health and happiness. Chapter 13, The Work-Life Balance. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin addresses a fundamental issue in achieving lasting success without sacrificing health and well-being: the balance between work and personal life. Many successful men and women have achieved great things in their careers, but Franklin emphasizes that true prosperity is not just about achieving professional success, but about finding harmony between our work responsibilities and our personal needs. This chapter delves into how we can achieve this balance in order to live a full and satisfying life. Work as a means, not an end. Franklin begins this chapter by reminding us that work should be seen as a means to achieving our goals and not as the ultimate end. Although work is essential for the creation of wealth and success, it should not be the only thing that defines our lives. Those who seek success at the expense of their health, relationships, and personal well-being often experience a sense of emptiness, even when they achieve their professional goals. Franklin emphasizes that work must be balanced with other aspects of our life, such as family, health, leisure, and personal growth, so that we can truly enjoy what we have achieved. Work should not take up all our time or absorb all our energy. It should be an important part of our life, but not our life. Franklin teaches us that finding a purpose greater than work is key to living a full and satisfying life. The importance of rest and recreation. One of the key points that Franklin highlights is the importance of rest and recreation in maintaining a healthy balance. Constant work without rest not only depletes our energy, but also diminishes our creativity, productivity, and general well-being. Franklin advises us that, although work is essential to our success, it is equally important to take time to relax, disconnect, and enjoy activities that help us recharge our batteries. Rest and recreation not only allow us to maintain our physical and mental health, but also improve our ability to work efficiently. When we take time to relax, whether through recreational activities, meditation, or simply resting, we are more productive and creative when we return to our work responsibilities. Time for family and personal relationships. Franklin also emphasizes that a healthy balance involves dedicating time to our families and personal relationships. Relationships are fundamental to our emotional well-being and personal satisfaction. Although work can be absorbing, Franklin reminds us that our relationships are a vital source of support, love, and joy. Dedicating time to family and friends not only improves our quality of life, but also gives us the emotional stability we need to face work challenges. A work-life balance means prioritizing the relationships that really matter and dedicating the time they deserve. Franklin invites us not to sacrifice our most important relationships for work, as healthy relationships are an essential pillar for a prosperous and happy life. Time management as the key to balance. Time management is another important topic that Franklin addresses in this chapter. The balance between work and personal life requires us to be organized and aware of how we use our time. Franklin teaches us that we cannot have true balance if we are not disciplined in how we manage our hours. This involves setting priorities, planning our daily activities, and making sure that we are dedicating enough time to both our work responsibilities and our personal needs. Effective time management is crucial to finding balance. By planning our tasks strategically, we can ensure that we are making progress towards our professional goals while leaving room for rest, family, and leisure. The danger of work overload. Franklin warns of the danger of work overload, a common problem in modern life. Many people fall into the trap of working excessive hours, often believing that the more they work, the more successful they will be. However, Franklin reminds us that overworking can lead to fatigue, burnout, and a decrease in productivity. In addition, work overload often has negative consequences for health and personal relationships. Balance involves knowing when to work hard and when to take a break. The key is to avoid letting work dominate our lives and to recognize that the quality of work is more important than the number of hours spent on it. Franklin teaches us that a balanced approach allows us to be more productive, creative, and healthy. The importance of self-discipline in achieving balance. An essential component in achieving work-life balance is self-discipline. Franklin emphasizes that the ability to manage our time and activities efficiently is a reflection of our discipline. Self-discipline allows us to work productively and with focus during working hours, without falling into procrastination or distractions, leaving us more time to dedicate to our personal lives. Self-discipline also involves knowing when to say no to additional commitments that could upset our balance. Franklin teaches us that by being disciplined and focused, we can achieve more in less time, leaving us space for activities that enrich us outside of work. Balance as a dynamic process. Franklin also highlights that work-life balance is not a fixed state, but a dynamic process. Our life's needs and priorities can change over time, so it is important to regularly review how we are managing our time and make adjustments as necessary. Balance is not something that is achieved once and for all, but something that must be maintained and adapted to as our circumstances change. This flexible and adaptable approach allows us to find a balance that works for us at every stage of life. Franklin teaches us that balance is a constant practice that requires attention and continuous adjustment. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Balance of Work and Life, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that true prosperity comes not only from hard work, but also from finding a healthy balance between our work responsibilities and our personal needs. Work is a means to achieve our goals, but it should not dominate our lives. To live a full and satisfying life, we must dedicate time to rest, recreation, personal relationships, and personal growth. Franklin invites us to reflect on how we can better manage our time, practice self-discipline, and ensure that we are balancing our priorities to achieve a prosperous and balanced life. By doing so, we can achieve success without sacrificing our health, happiness, or most important relationships. In the next chapter, The Value of Financial Independence, we will explore how to achieve financial autonomy and live without depending on the income or resources of others. Chapter 14. The Value of Financial Independence. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin sets out one of the most fundamental principles of his financial philosophy: financial independence. Franklin emphasizes that true freedom and lasting success are not achieved through hard work or the accumulation of wealth alone, but when we achieve economic autonomy, which allows us to make decisions without depending on other people or institutions. This chapter delves into how to achieve financial independence, how it allows us to live with greater freedom, and how it gives us total control of our lives and resources. Financial independence as true freedom. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that financial independence is the ultimate goal for those seeking a fulfilling and successful life. Living without depending on a salary or other people's finances gives us real freedom, as we are not tied to the decisions of others. True financial independence comes not only from having sufficient income, but from having absolute control over our economic situation, which allows us to make decisions without fear or external limitations. For Franklin, financial independence gives us the ability to choose how to live our lives, without being subject to the pressure of debt, forced labor, or the need to depend on others to survive. When we reach this level of autonomy, we can live according to our own principles and values, which provides us with greater personal satisfaction and peace of mind. Saving and investing as the foundation of financial independence. One of the key principles that Franklin highlights in this chapter is that saving and investing are essential to achieving financial independence. Consciously and consistently saving a portion of our income is the first step towards creating a solid economic foundation. The next step is to invest that money wisely in order to generate passive income that allows us to live without depending on active employment. Franklin teaches us that financial independence is not achieved immediately, but through a series of intelligent decisions made over time. The key is to build a source of income that grows on its own so that we don't need to work to earn money in the future. This is achieved through investments in real estate, stocks, bonds, or any other form of investment that can generate steady cash flow. The importance of living within our means. One of the key lessons of this chapter is that financial independence is only possible if we live within our means. Franklin stresses that those seeking financial independence must resist the temptation to spend more than they earn and avoid excessive consumption. Living beyond our means quickly leads to indebtedness, which takes us further away from our goal of financial independence. Franklin recommends adopting a mentality of intelligent frugality that allows us to live comfortably, but always within the limits of what we can afford. By keeping our expenses under control and avoiding the temptation of impulsive spending, we can save more and begin to build the foundations for our financial independence. Financial independence and freedom of choice. A central theme that Franklin highlights is that financial independence gives us freedom of choice. When we reach this level of autonomy, we are no longer forced to work in a job that does not satisfy us, or to do things just to earn money. Financial independence allows us to dedicate our time and energy to the things we are really passionate about, such as investing in our education, working on projects that excite us, or even contributing to the community. Freedom of choice is one of the greatest benefits of financial independence. It allows us to live a life more aligned with our values and desires, without being limited by economic concerns. Franklin teaches us that, when we are financially independent, we can make decisions that improve our quality of life instead of making decisions out of obligation or economic necessity. Financial independence as a gradual process. Franklin also emphasizes that achieving financial independence is not something that happens overnight. It is a gradual process that requires patience, discipline, and constant work. The key is to make small, smart decisions every day, such as saving regularly, investing wisely, and avoiding debt. Over time, these decisions add up and bring us closer and closer to financial independence. This gradual process also involves learning to manage risk effectively. As we grow financially, we must be aware of the opportunities and challenges that arise. Franklin teaches us that it is not just about generating income, but about making strategic decisions that allow us to maintain and grow our wealth steadily. The role of education in financial independence. Education is another key factor in achieving financial independence, according to Franklin. Education provides us with the tools and knowledge necessary to make informed decisions about our finances, our investments, and our life in general. Those seeking financial independence must commit to continually learning about the world of finance, investments, and economic strategies that will enable them to achieve their goals. Education also gives us the ability to adapt to changes in the market, take advantage of new investment opportunities, and manage risk more effectively. Franklin reminds us that knowledge is a valuable asset that helps us make decisions that bring us closer to economic freedom, financial independence, and the ability to help others. An additional benefit of achieving financial independence, according to Franklin, is the ability to help others. When we are financially independent, we are not only in control of our own lives, but we can also use our wealth to improve the lives of others. This can include donating to charitable causes, supporting our family and friends, or investing in projects that benefit the community. Franklin teaches us that by achieving financial independence, we not only improve our own lives, but we can also contribute to the collective well-being. True prosperity, according to Franklin, is not just about accumulating wealth, but about using that wealth in a generous and meaningful way for the good of others. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Value of Financial Independence, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that financial independence is the key to living a life of freedom, control, and satisfaction. Through constant saving, smart investing, financial discipline, and continuous education, we can achieve economic autonomy and free ourselves from dependence on a salary or other people's decisions. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can take steps towards financial independence, set clear goals, and commit to living within our means. By doing so, we can create a life of prosperity, freedom, and purpose, where our decisions are not limited by financial concerns. In the next chapter, The Power of Self-Discipline, we will explore how self-discipline in our actions, habits, and thoughts is fundamental to achieving success in all areas of our life. Chapter 15. The Power of Self-Discipline. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin reveals one of the fundamental pillars for achieving lasting prosperity: self-discipline. According to Franklin, self-discipline is the ability to control ourselves and stay focused on our goals, despite the temptations, distractions, and obstacles that may arise. Self-discipline is not only essential for financial success, but also for personal well-being, health, and positive relationships. This chapter delves into how we can cultivate and apply self-discipline to transform our lives and achieve long-term success. Self-discipline as the foundation of all success. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that self-discipline is the basis of all success. Without self-discipline, even the most intelligent, talented, and ambitious people cannot reach their full potential. Self-discipline allows us to stay focused on our long-term goals, resist the immediate temptations that lead us astray, and make decisions that bring us closer to our objectives. For Franklin, self-discipline is not an innate quality of some people, but an ability that can be cultivated and strengthened over time. Those who achieve success are those who have learned to control their impulses and to act in a constant and deliberate manner in pursuit of their goals, without giving in to difficulties or momentary pleasures. The importance of self-control in daily life. One of the key points that Franklin highlights in this chapter is the importance of self-control in daily life. Self-discipline is not something that can be applied only in moments of great effort, but must be an integral part of our daily routine. Franklin teaches us that self-control means being able to make conscious decisions in every aspect of our life. From how we manage our money to how we use our time, how we react to adversity, and how we treat others. Self-control allows us to avoid impulsive behavior that can have negative consequences. It helps us resist the temptation to spend money unnecessarily, to procrastinate, or to give in to destructive emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, self-discipline gives us the ability to act calmly, rationally, and with focus. Self-discipline in personal finances. Franklin devotes a significant part of this chapter to financial self-discipline. He teaches us that one of the areas where self-discipline is most crucial is in money management. The ability to control our impulses and not give in to the temptation to spend more than we earn is essential to achieving financial stability and economic independence. Those who lack financial self-discipline tend to live beyond their means, accumulating debt and sacrificing their financial future. Financial self-discipline also applies to saving and investing. Franklin stresses that, instead of spending our money on ephemeral pleasures, we should be disciplined in saving a portion of our income and investing wisely. Self-discipline in finance allows us to make intelligent decisions that bring us closer to our long-term goals, instead of succumbing to instant gratification. The importance of positive habits. Franklin also emphasizes that self-discipline is closely related to habits. The way we act every day, repetitively, determines our future circumstances. Positive habits such as getting up early, exercising regularly, reading or studying, practicing gratitude or saving, have a profound impact on our lives. When we are disciplined in forming good habits, we create a solid foundation that supports us in achieving our goals. Self-discipline not only helps us avoid bad habits, but also allows us to cultivate the habits that bring us closer to our goals. Franklin teaches us that the power of self-discipline lies in our ability to make consistent choices that, over time, produce great results. The relationship between self-discipline and perseverance. A key component of self-discipline is perseverance. Self-discipline is not only about resisting immediate temptations, but also about keeping going even when the going gets tough. Franklin emphasizes that successful people do not give up after a failure or when circumstances become complicated. Instead, self-discipline allows them to press on with determination, learning from their mistakes and keeping focused on their long-term goals. Perseverance helps us stand firm when facing challenges, and self-discipline gives us the strength to continue working towards our goals, even when the road gets tough. Franklin reminds us that great achievements do not happen overnight, but are the result of continuous efforts, constant discipline, and the will not to give up in the face of obstacles. Self-discipline and the ability to learn from failure. Franklin also emphasizes that self-discipline is closely related to our ability to learn from failure. Disciplined people do not allow themselves to be discouraged by setbacks, but use failures as opportunities to improve and move forward. Self-discipline gives us the ability to maintain a positive attitude in the face of failure, and to use those difficult moments as lessons that help us grow. The key to self-discipline in this context is not to let failure make us give up, but to use it as a catalyst to make adjustments and move forward with greater wisdom. Franklin teaches us that those who persevere and apply self-discipline are the ones who eventually achieve success, while those who give up in the face of failure are the ones who are left behind. Self-care as part of self-discipline. An important aspect that Franklin highlights in this chapter is that self-discipline also involves self-care. To be truly disciplined and effective in all areas of our lives, we need to take care of our physical and mental health. Self-discipline is not only about working hard, but also about recognizing when we need to rest, recharge, and take care of ourselves. Self-care allows us to maintain the balance and energy necessary to move forward with our goals. Franklin teaches us that self-discipline is more effective when we also include wellness practices, such as healthy eating, exercise, and rest, in our daily routine. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Way to Wealth, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that self-discipline is an essential factor in achieving success in all areas of life. The ability to control ourselves, to stay focused on our goals, to resist temptations, and to cultivate positive habits leads us to a life of prosperity and well-being. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can strengthen our self-discipline and apply it consistently in our daily decisions. By doing so, we can transform our lives, achieve our greatest goals, and create a balanced, successful, and fulfilling life. In the next chapter, Building a Support Network for Success, we will explore how surrounding ourselves with people who support our goals and help us grow can be one of the most effective strategies for achieving long-term success. Chapter 16. Building a Support Network for Success. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin shows us the importance of building and maintaining a support network to achieve success. Although the focus is often on individual effort, Franklin teaches that true success is achieved not only through hard work and self-discipline, but also through the relationships we cultivate with others. A strong support network can provide resources, advice, opportunities, and motivation, helping us to overcome obstacles and move towards our goals more easily. This chapter highlights how we can build and nurture key relationships for success, both personally and professionally. The value of relationships on the road to success. Franklin begins this chapter by pointing out that, although independence is important, true success is not achieved alone. Lasting success often depends on the relationships we establish over time, as the people around us have the power to positively influence our lives. From colleagues and partners to friends and mentors, having a strong support network is essential to facing challenges and taking advantage of opportunities as they arise. Relationships provide us with a constant source of motivation, inspiration, and constructive feedback. Franklin emphasizes that those who achieve great things do not do so in isolation, but rather surround themselves with people who support them, challenge them, and inspire them to keep going. The importance of surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us. A key aspect that Franklin highlights in this chapter is the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us to grow. The people who form part of our support network should not only be those who encourage us, but also those who push us out of our comfort zone and motivate us to improve. The influence of these people can be transformative, as they offer us new perspectives, practical advice, and, sometimes, constructive criticism that allows us to see our weaknesses and opportunities for improvement. Franklin teaches us that true progress comes from exposure to new ideas, different points of view, and challenges. Through relationships that challenge us in a positive way, we can expand our capabilities, learn from our experiences, and move toward our goals with greater confidence. The role of mentors in building a strong network. Franklin emphasizes the importance of mentors in our lives and how these relationships can be decisive for success. Mentors are more experienced people who guide us, give us valuable advice, and help us avoid costly mistakes. A mentor can provide us with a perspective that we do not see for ourselves, as they have the knowledge and experience necessary to guide our decisions. In addition to offering wisdom and knowledge, mentors teach us to navigate the challenges on the road to success, helping us to make informed and strategic decisions. Franklin reminds us that we should always seek out and appreciate the guidance of those who have more experience and who genuinely want to see us prosper. Reciprocity in supportive relationships. An essential issue that Franklin highlights in this chapter is the principle of reciprocity in support relationships. The most effective support networks are not unilateral. That is, we not only receive help but we also offer it. Franklin teaches us that, in order to build lasting and effective relationships, we must be willing to contribute our own skills, time and resources to help others. Reciprocity creates a cycle of mutual support that strengthens the network and encourages collaboration. By offering our help to others, whether it's sharing knowledge, providing emotional support, or collaborating on projects, we are building strong relationships that will eventually benefit us too. The key is balance. Giving and receiving in a fair and equitable way. Building a diverse and varied network. Franklin also emphasizes the importance of having a diverse support network. It's not just about surrounding ourselves with people who think like we do, but about seeking a variety of perspectives, skills, and experiences. A diverse network of contacts can open doors to new opportunities, innovative ideas, and different approaches to solving problems. By diversifying our network, we can take advantage of different points of view, learn about new areas of interest, and expand our opportunities for growth. Diversity in relationships not only makes us stronger, but also prepares us to face the challenges of an increasingly globalized and complex world. The importance of honesty and trust in relationships. Franklin emphasizes that honesty and trust are the foundation of any strong support network. Without trust, no relationship will be lasting or effective. To build authentic and valuable relationships, it is essential to be transparent and act with integrity. Trust not only allows us to receive support, but also gives us the freedom to offer our help in a selfless way. Relationships based on trust are the ones that last over time. Franklin teaches us that by cultivating honesty and transparency, we can build a genuine support network that is willing to help us when we need it and to give us the necessary support to achieve our goals. The power of collaboration instead of competition. An important principle that Franklin emphasizes is that success does not necessarily come from competition, but from collaboration. While competition can be a valuable motivation in some respects, Franklin believes that true prosperity is achieved by collaborating with others rather than competing destructively. Collaboration allows us to share resources, knowledge, and skills to achieve a common goal, which increases our chances of success. Collaborating in a support network allows us to take advantage of the strengths of each member and combine our efforts to achieve more ambitious goals. Franklin teaches us that, when we work together, we multiply our opportunities and create an environment more conducive to collective success. The impact of a support network on resilience. Finally, Franklin emphasizes that a strong support network also plays a crucial role in our resilience. In times of difficulty or challenge, the relationships we have cultivated provide us with the emotional and practical support we need to overcome obstacles. Resilience is based not only on our individual capacity to face adversity, but also on the strength of our connections with others. A support network gives us the confidence that we are not alone in our struggles, which gives us the strength to move forward. Franklin teaches us that by building relationships that support us in difficult times, we are strengthening our ability to resist and overcome challenges. Conclusion of the chapter. In building a support network for success, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that success is not a solitary journey, but is best achieved when we surround ourselves with people who challenge us, support us, and inspire us to be better. A strong support network, based on reciprocity, trust, and collaboration, is an essential asset on our journey to prosperity. This chapter invites us to reflect on the relationships we are building and to consider how we can improve our support network to move forward with greater confidence and success. In doing so, we can transform our lives and increase our opportunities to achieve our greatest goals. In the next chapter, The Path to Sustainable Wealth, we will explore how to create a solid and sustainable foundation to generate wealth in the long term and ensure that our success is lasting and stable. Chapter 17. The Path to Sustainable Wealth. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin guides us along the path to sustainable wealth, a key concept for those who seek not only to achieve economic success, but to maintain it and make it grow over time. While many people focus on obtaining wealth quickly or reaching a temporary peak of prosperity, Franklin teaches us that true wealth is not based on short-term accumulation, but on building a solid and sustainable financial system that allows us to generate income and prosperity in a constant way. This chapter explores the key strategies for creating a solid foundation that guarantees lasting and stable wealth. The importance of building a solid foundation. Franklin begins this chapter by explaining that sustainable wealth is not built overnight. It is the result of a disciplined and consistent approach to finance, investment, and resource management. Instead of focusing on quick profits or speculative investments, Franklin teaches us that the key to achieving lasting prosperity is to build a solid foundation based on the principles of saving, smart investing, and prudent spending. The road to sustainable wealth requires patience and a commitment to long-term financial decisions. Instead of seeking instant gratification, we should focus on making strategic decisions that allow us to build something that will last over time. Franklin emphasizes that financial stability comes not only from making money, but from knowing how to keep it, manage it, and make it grow steadily. The importance of long-term investment. One of the key lessons of this chapter is long-term investment. Franklin emphasizes that the people who achieve true wealth are those who do not rush to obtain immediate benefits, but rather make investments that appreciate over time. Long-term investments, whether in real estate, stocks, or businesses, are the ones that provide sustainable and steady returns. Franklin emphasizes that investments should be selected carefully, based on a thorough analysis and an evaluation of their capacity to generate passive income over time. Long-term investments not only protect us against market fluctuations, but also allow us to benefit from constant appreciation of value, which contributes to sustainable wealth. Diversification of investments. Another important aspect that Franklin addresses in this chapter is investment diversification. Diversification is essential to reduce risk and ensure that our investments are not too concentrated in a single area. Franklin teaches us that by diversifying our investments, we protect our wealth from market fluctuations and increase our opportunities to obtain sustainable returns in different sectors. A diversified portfolio, including a mix of assets such as real estate, stocks, bonds, and other financial instruments, is key to achieving sustainable wealth. Diversification allows us to take advantage of different sources of income and reduce exposure to extreme risks, contributing to long-term financial stability. Smart saving as a pillar of sustainable wealth. Franklin also highlights that smart saving is one of the pillars of sustainable wealth. Saving a constant proportion of our income, even if we are not in a stage of accumulating large amounts, allows us to have an emergency fund and a financial base to support our investments. In addition, saving is crucial to maintain a constant cash flow that can be reinvested to generate more wealth. Franklin recommends that we save a proportion of our income on a regular basis and that we use that money for smart investments. Even when saving is not immediately profitable, Franklin reminds us that saving is a tool that gives us the power to act freely when opportunities arise. The importance of prudence in risk management. Franklin emphasizes the need to be prudent when managing financial risks. While it is important to make investment decisions, it is also crucial to know when to reduce risk and protect our assets. Prudence in risk management means avoiding overly risky investments, not making impulsive decisions, and ensuring that our investments are aligned with our long-term goals. Adequate risk management is fundamental to creating a sustainable wealth base. Franklin teaches us that prudent risk management does not mean avoiding all investments, but rather making informed decisions that minimize potential losses and ensure steady, long-term growth. Sustainable wealth and focus on the future. Franklin emphasizes that sustainable wealth is not just about accumulating money, but about making decisions today that protect and strengthen our finances in the future. This means planning for the long term, making strategic decisions based on our future goals, and ensuring that our current actions contribute to long-term financial well-being. By planning for the future ahead of time, we can build a legacy of financial stability that benefits future generations. Franklin reminds us that sustainable wealth is achieved when we focus on what is important in the long term, rather than giving in to immediate gratification or the pressure to get quick results. The importance of continuing education for sustainable wealth. A recurring theme in this chapter is that continuing education is essential for the creation and maintenance of sustainable wealth. The economy, markets, and investment opportunities are constantly changing, and those seeking lasting prosperity must stay up to date on the best investment strategies, financial management, and new economic trends. Franklin encourages us to invest in our financial education, to always look for new learning opportunities, and to adapt to changing market conditions. Continuous education allows us to make more informed decisions and stay competitive in an ever-evolving financial world. Discipline and patience as keys to sustainable wealth. Finally, Franklin reminds us that discipline and patience are the keys to achieving sustainable wealth. It is not about getting quick results, but about working steadily and with discipline towards our goals, adjusting our strategies as necessary and maintaining focus in the long term. Patience allows us to resist the temptations of immediate gratification and to remain committed to our vision of long-term success. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Way to Wealth, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that true prosperity does not come from quick profits or impulsive decisions, but from building a solid, disciplined, and strategic foundation of investment, saving, and financial management. By focusing on the long term, diversifying our investments, and managing risks prudently, we can create wealth that lasts over time. This chapter invites us to reflect on our current financial decisions and to plan for the future with a strategic and patient mindset. By doing so, we can build a solid foundation of wealth that will enable us to live securely and prosperously throughout our lives. In the next chapter, Business and Investment Wisdom, we will explore how making intelligent business and investment decisions can accelerate our path to success and ensure that our wealth multiplies in an efficient and sustainable way. Chapter 18. Wisdom in Business and Investment. In this chapter of 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin addresses one of the most important keys to creating lasting wealth: wisdom in business and investment. Throughout his life, Franklin was a successful businessman, and his strategic approach to investment and business management is one of the reasons why he achieved success. In this chapter, Franklin teaches us how to make wise business decisions, how to select investment opportunities that allow us to grow efficiently, and how to avoid common mistakes that can destroy our wealth. The importance of wisdom in business. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that success in business depends not only on the ability to generate income, but also on the ability to make wise decisions. Wisdom in business involves knowing when to act, when to wait, and how to manage resources in a way that maximizes opportunities for growth. Wise and wealthy men are those who understand the fundamental principles of business and use that knowledge to make strategic decisions that lead to success. For Franklin, business wisdom also means having a clear vision of the future and understanding how the decisions we make today will affect our finances and our long-term opportunities. True business wisdom is not just about making money, but about creating a solid foundation for continued success. The importance of business education and experience. A key theme that Franklin emphasizes in this chapter is that education and experience are fundamental to success in business and investing. Franklin was a firm believer in the importance of continuous learning, and in business, this education is not limited to theory, but includes practical experience. Learning from mistakes, understanding market trends, and being willing to adapt to new opportunities are essential aspects of business wisdom. Franklin advises that even when we acquire knowledge, we must apply it in the real business world. Experience allows us to learn valuable lessons that cannot be obtained from books or advice alone. To be successful in business, it is necessary to learn from practice and be willing to adjust our strategies as we go along. Informed decision-making in business. In this chapter, Franklin also highlights the importance of making informed decisions in business and investing. Wisdom does not consist of making decisions based on assumptions or emotions, but rather on a careful analysis of the situation. Franklin teaches us that successful business and investing are based on the ability to evaluate all the options, understand the risks and benefits, and make decisions that are aligned with our long-term objectives. Informed decision-making also involves recognizing one's own limits and seeking advice when necessary. Franklin was known for his willingness to learn from others and for his humility in asking for help or advice. Business wisdom is not just about being self-sufficient, but also about being willing to learn from others. The role of perseverance in business. Franklin emphasizes that, as in other areas of life, perseverance is essential for success in business. Throughout his life, Franklin experienced failures and difficulties in his ventures, but he never allowed these obstacles to stop him. Instead, he used these failures as opportunities to learn and improve. Perseverance in business means pushing forward despite challenges, keeping calm when circumstances are not favorable, and never losing sight of long-term goals. Franklin teaches us that, in business, success is not immediate, and those who remain constant and adaptable over time are the ones who ultimately achieve prosperity. The value of smart investments. A crucial component of business wisdom is the ability to make intelligent investments. Franklin devotes a significant part of this chapter to explaining how investments play a central role in the creation of wealth. However, he also emphasizes that investments should be made with care and consideration. Investments should not be impulsive or based on speculation, but on a rational analysis of opportunities. Smart investments are those that have the potential to generate passive income or to appreciate over time. Franklin teaches us that the key is to find opportunities that offer a steady and sustainable return, whether in real estate, stocks, or businesses. He also reminds us that we should diversify our investments to reduce risk and protect our capital. Risk management in business and investments. Franklin emphasizes that, in business and investment, risk management is fundamental. While investments always involve some degree of uncertainty, those that are successful are those that know how to manage that risk effectively. Franklin teaches us that risk must be carefully evaluated before making investment decisions, and that opportunities should be selected based on their ability to generate profits without jeopardizing our financial stability. Risk management also involves being prudent when choosing the opportunities in which we invest. Franklin suggests that, instead of pursuing risky opportunities, we should focus on investments that are well-founded and offer greater security in the long term. The importance of business ethics. In addition to the ability to make intelligent decisions and manage risk, Franklin also emphasizes the importance of maintaining sound business ethics. Honesty, integrity, and respect for others are fundamental principles that guide wise and wealthy men. For Franklin, true success is not achieved at the expense of others, but through the construction of business relationships based on trust and mutual respect. Respect for business ethics not only helps to build a good reputation, but also creates a healthy and sustainable business environment. Franklin teaches us that, in the long term, integrity and ethical behavior are more valuable than quick profits or dubious opportunities. The importance of relationships in business. Franklin also emphasizes that business relationships are essential for success in business. The connections we make with partners, clients, and colleagues not only open doors for us, but also provide us with the support we need to face challenges. Business wisdom means surrounding ourselves with people who support us, challenge us, and help us grow. As in personal life, business relationships are based on trust, reciprocity, and collaboration. Franklin teaches us that success in business is not just about being competent at what we do, but also about being able to build a network of contacts that can contribute to mutual growth. Conclusion of the chapter. In The Wisdom of Business and Investment, Benjamin Franklin teaches us that business and financial success is not just about making money, but about doing so in a strategic, ethical, and sustainable way. Informed decisions, risk management, perseverance, and smart investments are key to long-term wealth creation. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can apply these principles in our own lives and in our business endeavors. By making wise decisions, managing risk prudently, and building strong business relationships, we can ensure that our investments and businesses are successful and long-lasting. In the next chapter, Living with Purpose. Success Beyond Money, we will explore how having a clear purpose in life can directly influence our ability to achieve material and personal success. Chapter 19. Living with Purpose. Success Beyond Money. In this chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin invites us to reflect on the importance of living with purpose and how this approach is essential to achieving lasting success beyond the mere accumulation of material wealth. Franklin emphasizes that true prosperity is not only measured in terms of money, but in the ability to live a life aligned with our deepest values and principles. This chapter explores how having a clear purpose in life can guide us to make wiser decisions, focus our energy on what really matters, and live life to the full. Purpose as the foundation of true success. Franklin begins this chapter by emphasizing that real prosperity and true success are not found solely in the accumulation of material goods. Although financial wealth can offer comfort and security, Franklin teaches us that lasting success is found in living in accordance with a greater purpose that goes beyond the material. For him, money should be seen as a tool for achieving our highest goals, not as an end in itself. Purposeful living, according to Franklin, allows us to face difficulties with greater perspective and determination. When we know what we really want to achieve, adversity becomes a valuable lesson rather than an insurmountable obstacle. Purpose gives us clarity and direction, and allows us to make decisions that bring us closer to what really matters in our lives. The importance of defining a clear purpose. A central theme in this chapter is the importance of defining a clear purpose in life. Franklin reminds us that those who are successful are those who know what they want to achieve and have a plan to reach their goals. The first step to living with purpose is to reflect on what we really want in life and to be honest with ourselves about our motivations and aspirations. Having a clear purpose helps us to stay focused, even when we face temptations or difficulties. Franklin teaches us that purpose acts as a compass, guiding us through difficult decisions and helping us to prioritize what is truly important. Without a clear purpose, our lives can become chaotic and disorganized, and we can lose sight of our long-term goals. Purpose as motivation for effort and perseverance. Franklin also emphasizes that a clear purpose is a powerful source of motivation and perseverance. When we have a meaningful purpose, we are more likely to work with dedication and effort towards our goals. Purpose provides us with the energy and passion necessary to keep going even when the road gets tough. Perseverance is essential for long-term success, and purpose acts as the fuel that keeps us moving. Franklin teaches us that, when we have a clear reason for what we are doing, we are able to overcome obstacles and stay focused in the long term. Purpose and work-life balance. An important topic that Franklin deals with in this chapter is how purpose can help us find a work-life balance. Living with purpose allows us to have a clearer vision of what really matters, which helps us avoid falling into the trap of working endlessly without stopping to enjoy the things that really enrich our lives, such as family, health, and leisure. Purpose also allows us to make wiser decisions about how to manage our time and energy. If we know what we really want to achieve, we can focus on the activities that bring us closer to that goal and leave aside the distractions that take us away from our priorities. Franklin teaches us that living with purpose is the key to finding a healthy balance that allows us to thrive both professionally and personally. Purpose as a source of satisfaction and happiness. Franklin emphasizes that true happiness does not come from the accumulation of material wealth, but from living a life that is aligned with our values and purpose. True and lasting satisfaction is only achieved when we feel that we are living in accordance with our mission and making a meaningful contribution to the world. For Franklin, money and external success only have value when they are in the service of a greater purpose. Living with purpose allows us to experience a sense of inner peace and satisfaction, as we know that we are making decisions that bring us closer to what we really want. When our life has purpose, we feel that our existence has a deeper meaning, and that feeling of fulfillment brings us a happiness that does not depend on material things. Purpose and meaningful relationships. A key aspect that Franklin mentions is how purpose influences our relationships. Living with a clear purpose not only gives us direction in life, but also improves the quality of our interpersonal relationships. By having a purpose, we become more aware of our priorities and more selective about the people with whom we share our time and energy. Meaningful relationships based on shared values are essential for a full life. Franklin teaches us that living with purpose allows us to attract people who share our ideals and who support us on our path to success. Furthermore, purpose drives us to be more generous and compassionate towards others, as we understand that our true wealth comes from deep and meaningful human connections. Purpose and personal legacy. Franklin reminds us that purpose is also closely related to the legacy we leave behind. Living with purpose allows us to create a lasting impact on the world, and this legacy is one of the most powerful ways to achieve immortality. By living in a way that contributes to the well-being of others and the advancement of our communities, we can leave a legacy that endures long after we are gone. For Franklin, personal legacy is not just about what we leave behind materially, but about how our actions and decisions have influenced the lives of those around us. Living with purpose allows us to leave a positive impact that will be remembered by future generations. Conclusion of the chapter. In Live with Purpose. Success Beyond Money. Benjamin Franklin teaches us that true prosperity is not found only in the accumulation of material wealth, but in living a life aligned with a greater purpose. Purpose gives us direction, motivation, and satisfaction, and helps us make wise decisions that bring us closer to our goals. Furthermore, living with purpose allows us to find a balance between work and personal life, enjoy meaningful relationships, and leave a positive legacy in the world. This chapter invites us to reflect on our own goals and aspirations, and to consider how we can live according to a purpose that will guide us towards lasting success and happiness. In the next chapter, The Philosophy of Lasting Wealth, we will explore how Franklin's principles can help us apply the knowledge gained throughout the book to achieve sustainable wealth, both materially and spiritually. Chapter 20. The Philosophy of Lasting Wealth. In this final chapter of 1,000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin reflects on his philosophy of lasting wealth, a set of principles that will guide us not only in the creation of material wealth, but also in the construction of a life rich in purpose, health, and relationships. For Franklin, true wealth is not measured solely in terms of money, but in the ability to live with wisdom, integrity, and gratitude. This chapter brings together all the previous teachings of the book and provides a comprehensive vision of how to achieve prosperity that lasts over time, both personally and professionally. Wealth as a balance between the material and the spiritual. Franklin begins this chapter by reminding us that true wealth does not reside solely in the accumulation of material goods, but in the balance between the material and the spiritual. Material wealth is important, but only when it is used as a tool to live a full and generous life. True wealth, according to Franklin, comes from a life that is aligned with higher principles, such as wisdom, honesty, respect, and generosity. For Franklin, those who seek wealth only as a material end run the risk of losing sight of what really matters in life. True prosperity is achieved when we can balance our material needs with our spiritual and personal aspirations, creating a life that is not only financially successful, but also deeply satisfying in every respect. The importance of integrity and ethics in wealth creation. A key tenet of Franklin's philosophy is that integrity and ethics are essential to achieving lasting wealth. Throughout the book, we have learned that wealth obtained through unethical or dishonest means is short-lived and destined to crumble. Franklin teaches us that true wealth is built on a foundation of sound principles and ethical behavior, such as honesty, respect for others, and responsibility. Integrity in business, finance, and relationships is crucial to earning the trust and respect of others. Franklin emphasizes that those who achieve lasting wealth are those who maintain their integrity even when faced with challenges or temptations to act dishonestly. Ethically obtained wealth not only endures, but also creates a legacy of respect and admiration. The power of saving and smart investing. In this chapter, Franklin reinforces the idea that saving and investing wisely are fundamental to building lasting wealth. As we saw in previous chapters, constant and disciplined saving, combined with informed investment decisions, is the key to generating wealth that lasts over time. Franklin reminds us that we should not be greedy, but we should be prudent with our resources, investing wisely and using money in a way that makes it work for us, not just as a means of consumption. Intelligent investment, according to Franklin, involves not only seeking financial gain, but also taking into account long-term stability and the effects of our decisions on our lives and our community. Lasting wealth is created through a balanced approach that considers both economic growth and personal and collective well-being. The importance of continuous education for long-term success. Franklin reminds us that continuous education is essential to maintaining and increasing our lasting wealth. Accumulating wealth is not enough if we are not committed to constantly learning about how to manage it and make it grow. Education in finance, investments, business, and, in general, in any area related to success is key to adapting to changes in the market and the opportunities that arise over time. Continuing education also allows us to make more informed and strategic decisions, increasing our chances of achieving long-term success and wealth. Franklin emphasizes that we should never stop learning, as knowledge provides us with the tools necessary to remain successful as we move through life. Sustainable wealth through discipline and perseverance. Discipline and perseverance are two of the most important elements in Franklin's philosophy. Throughout the book, we have seen how self-discipline allows us to stay focused on our goals and make informed decisions over time. Perseverance is essential to overcome the obstacles and challenges that inevitably arise on the road to success. Franklin teaches us that lasting wealth is not achieved through sporadic efforts or moments of frenzy, but through the constant practice of discipline and the will to keep going despite the difficulties. The ability to be constant, to learn from failure and to move forward with determination is what sets apart those who achieve wealth that lasts over time. Generosity as a key principle for a rich life. A fundamental aspect of Franklin's philosophy is generosity. Generosity not only contributes to the creation of a better world, but also enriches our own lives. Franklin emphasizes that true wealth is not only measured by what we accumulate, but also by what we give. Generosity creates a cycle of prosperity that benefits both the giver and the receiver, and often results in much greater personal satisfaction than the accumulation of material goods. Generosity is a way of living according to higher principles, and Franklin encourages us to give from the heart, without expecting anything in return. This practice of generosity not only improves the lives of others, but also creates a positive and lasting legacy. Living with purpose and passion. Finally, Franklin concludes this chapter by emphasizing that passion and purpose are essential for a rich life in all aspects. Living with purpose not only gives us direction and focus, but also infuses meaning into our daily actions. When we live according to our passions and purpose, we find a deep satisfaction that goes beyond material achievements. For Franklin, purpose is what gives coherence to our life, allows us to be resilient in the face of difficulties and motivates us to continue working towards our goals. True wealth is found when we combine our skills, knowledge and resources with a clear purpose and a genuine passion for what we do. Conclusion of the chapter. In the philosophy of lasting wealth, Benjamin Franklin shows us that true prosperity is not found only in the accumulation of material wealth, but in living a life full of purpose, ethics, generosity and perseverance. Through self-discipline, continuous education and smart investing, we can build wealth that not only endures, but also enriches our lives in a holistic way. This chapter invites us to reflect on how we can apply these principles in our daily lives to achieve not only financial success, but also a full, meaningful and balanced life. In 1000 Secrets of Rich and Wise Men Revealed, Benjamin Franklin has offered us a compendium of key principles that can guide us towards a life of true prosperity. Throughout this book, we have learned that wealth is not just about the accumulation of material goods, but about living with wisdom, purpose, discipline and generosity. True wealth lies in our ability to balance our economic aspirations with our personal relationships, ethics and overall well-being. Franklin's principles, such as self-discipline, intelligent investment, continuous education and generosity, are the essential tools we can use to create a life of lasting success. As we apply these principles, we can build a solid foundation for achieving our goals and living a life full of purpose, happiness and satisfaction. Let's remember that the road to wealth is not a destination, but a continuous journey of learning, growth and contribution to the common good. By following these secrets of wise and wealthy men, we can transform our lives and achieve success, not only in the financial sphere, but in all the aspects that really matter. If you have enjoyed this content and want to continue learning about financial wisdom, personal development and successful life strategies, don't forget to subscribe to Audio Mentors. By doing so, you will have access to more audiobooks, summaries and valuable resources that will help you continue growing and achieving success. Thank you for joining us on this journey to wisdom and wealth. We invite you to continue exploring these principles and applying them in your life to create the prosperous future you desire. See you in the next chapter of your road to success with Audio Mentors.